You say you are a beast, but only when it is comfortable. You go hard when the weather is right, when the mood is right, when everything is working in your favor. But the moment it gets dark, the moment it gets painful, the moment life does not look the way you imagined, you bend, you fold, you slow down. That is not dominance, that is convenience. Our real savage does not change with the conditions. He brings the same intensity. In the rain, in the chaos, in the rejection, in the silence. Some of you want the reward, but you do not want the sacrifice. You want the promotion, but not the pressure. You want the victory, but not the war. You want the spotlight, but not the lonely mornings. Listen carefully. If you want to rise, you will have to let things go. Some habits must die. Some relationships must end. Some mentalities must be buried. You cannot go to the next level thinking like the old version of yourself. You say you want more, then give more. You say you deserve better, then work better. Match the effort of the obstacle in front of you. Match the pressure. Match the intensity. Compete. Because most people are not losing. They are simply not competing. They show up halfway. They push halfway. They believe halfway, and then they complain about halfway results. If you give average effort, you will live an average life. If you cut corners, you will live inside the structure you weakened. Every decision you make, you are building something. Every shortcut you take, you are tearing something down. This is your life. You will have to live inside whatever you build. You may not get more time, you may not get more chances, you may not get more support, but you can always give more effort. Stop crying about what you do not have. Start maximizing what you control. Effort is free. Discipline is available. Commitment is a decision. When you decide to give 120%, you remove excuses. You remove doubt. You remove the option to blame. It is not about talent. It is not about luck. It is about that fire, that refusal to back down. Every morning something will go wrong. Every day something will test you. That is not bad luck. That is an exam. Do you pass or do you retreat? Distractions will pull at you. Comfort will whisper to you. Your job is to stay locked in. Imagine meeting the greatest version of yourself, the strongest, the most disciplined, the most fearless version. Now ask yourself, are your daily actions worthy of that version? Because if you stop quitting when it gets hard, if you stop negotiating with discomfort, if you keep stepping forward again and again and again, eventually, you will become that person. And once you become comfortable being uncomfortable, once pain becomes part of your process, once effort becomes automatic, there will be nothing average left in you, and this is where the transformation begins. Transformation does not begin when you feel motivated. It begins when you are exhausted, when you do not feel like showing up, when your body is tired, when your mind is looking for excuses. That is where the savage is built. Anybody can go hard when they feel inspired. Anybody can grind when the energy is high. But can you execute when you feel nothing? Can you move when you are doubting yourself? Can you discipline your mind? When comfort is calling your name, your brain is wired for safety. It wants ease. It wants pleasure. It wants to protect you from pain. The second things get uncomfortable, it tells you to slow down, to wait, to try tomorrow, to pick the easier path. That voice is not your enemy, but it cannot be your leader. If you follow comfort, you will stay average. If you follow growth, you must walk into discomfort on purpose. You must train when you do not feel like training. You must study when you do not feel like studying. You must make the call, even when rejection is possible. Because growth lives in the place most people avoid: the ugly work, the boring work, the repetitive work, the unseen work. That is where greatness is earned. Not in the spotlight, but in isolation. Not in applause, but in silence. You are not born tough. You build toughness by doing what you do not want to do. Again and again and again. Every time you choose discipline over comfort, you rewire your mind. Every time you lean into pressure, instead of running from it, you expand your capacity. Your potential is not fixed. It grows when challenged. It grows when stretched. It grows when tested. Stop looking for shortcuts. Stop looking for the easy route. The life of convenience is earned through seasons of inconvenience. You want freedom, you must earn it through structure. You want confidence, you must earn it through repetition. You want results, you must earn them through relentless action. There is no luck here. There is action, and there is consequence. There is effort, and there is outcome. People look at success and say it is luck. They do not see the years, the early mornings, the late nights, the sacrifices, the missed parties, the silent battles. That is not luck. That is discipline compounded over time. If you want to become dangerous, if you want to become unstoppable, you must declare war on your excuses. You must program your mind instead of letting life program it for you. Because if you do not control your mind will control you. It will convince you to settle, to shrink, to delay. But you are not here to settle. You are here to expand, to push, to dominate your limitations. And once you decide that comfort is no longer your priority, that growth is, you step into a different category. You stop being average. You stop being casual. You become intentional. Is when people start to feel your presence before you even speak. Because effort changes posture, discipline changes energy, and hunger changes everything. Hunger is what separates the interested from the committed. Everybody says they want success. Few are willing to bleed for it. You cannot flirt with greatness. You cannot visit discipline when it is convenient. You either live this or you do not. This path is not glamorous. It is gritty. It is repetitive. It is lonely. There will be days you question yourself, days you feel behind, days you feel invisible. Good. That is the furnace. That is where identity is forged. The savage mindset is simple. No excuses, no negotiation, no retreat. You wake up and execute. Whether you feel powerful or powerless, you move. Because movement creates momentum, and momentum builds belief. Stop waiting to feel ready. Ready is a myth. Clarity comes from action. Confidence comes from repetition. Strength comes from resistance. Every time you push past discomfort, you collect proof. Proof that you are stronger than your emotions. Proof that you are bigger than your fear. Proof that pain does not control you. Most people break under pressure because they never trained for pressure. They trained for applause. They trained for validation. They trained for comfort. But you train for adversity. You train for chaos. You train for the days when everything falls apart. So when life hits, you do not panic. You perform when others freeze. You focus when others complain. You compete. You do not need perfect conditions. You need relentless standards. Standards so high that laziness feels illegal. Standards so strong that excuses sound embarrassing. You cannot build a powerful life with weak habits. You cannot demand greatness while tolerating mediocrity. If you want to become absolute, you must eliminate average from your schedule, from your circle, from your mindset, and understand this. Pain is temporary. Discipline is daily. But regret lasts forever. One day, you will meet the results of your habits. The body you built, the bank account you created, the reputation you earned, the mindset you forged, and you will either thank yourself or you will question why you played small. So decide now, not when it is easy, not when you feel motivated. Now, that you will no longer fold, no longer bend, no longer slow down when it gets uncomfortable. You will lean in, you will push harder, you will demand more from yourself, because being average is a choice, and so is being elite. Choose who you are becoming, then prove it, every single day.